What's going on, good people? I just want to drop in real quick and talk about growth and healing. So, when you're healing and growing, usually you go into like a divine isolation. And it's just you. It's just you with yourself, with your thoughts, with your emotions, and you're healing. A lot of friendships, family members, relationships, they begin to fall off because you no longer need that mirror. As you go through your healing journey, you deal with a lot of wounds. You actively heal yourself. When you really do the work of healing, of wanting to be better for you, and noticing that I am the issue, and if I want to see better, I must be better. I must be the change that I want to see. So you decide to heal. So you go into a divine isolation. You separate yourself from everybody because at that time, a lot of people can't be in your energy. And truth be told, a lot of people don't even deserve your energy. So certain people begin to fall off because you no longer need that mirror because that part of you that needed that person has healed. Because we are just mirrors. That's all we are. I've noticed that when I was going through my own healing journey, and it's ongoing because we are all works in progress. As long as you're waking up and seeing a brand new day, you are a work in progress. As long as the Lord is tapping you on your shoulder, He say, "Hey, daughter, hey, son, it's time to get up." You are an active work in progress. And we are all on our own healing journey, going through what we have to go through to be the best that we can be. So when I was going through my own healing journey, it was pretty lonely. It was just me because there were a lot of things that I need to heal within me. I really didn't want to hang out. I wasn't really going out. It was home, gym, work. That's what my life consisted of. Still does. Because when I began to heal, a lot of friendships, family members, relationships began to fall away. I noticed the relationships that were no longer good for me. They were actually hurting me. And when you heal, when you're going through your healing journey and you're actively healing and you see a lot. You see a lot within you. You understand a lot within you, but you also see a lot about other people. You see the lack of reciprocity. You see how people don't really love the way that you love. They don't really show up the way that you show up. They don't really appreciate you the way that you appreciate them. So you basically just recognize people for who they are. So those relationships begin to fall to the wayside. And you pretty much don't miss them because they're supposed to fall away anyway. They're no longer serving you. And when things no longer serve you, they fall out of your life. And you'll look up one day and it'll be months down the road. You'll be like, oh, dang, I ain't talked to such and such in forever. Or I haven't connected with blah, blah, blah forever. And guess what? You have no real desire to. You don't want to. There's a lot of my relationships that I look back on of people that I really don't talk to anymore. Or I don't deal with like that. The relationship was surface. If truth be told, I was the one that was giving of myself, but they were coming from surface levels because they didn't want to reveal who they really were. But the thing about it is, people are always revealed to us. It's just up to us if we actually want to pay attention to that thing or not. People will always show you who they are in the very beginning. In the very beginning. Because there are a lot of relationships that I think back on, and I'm talking about friendships, family, people that I've dated, that I look back on and I'm like, man, like that was going on at the beginning. Why didn't I see that? Because my eyes weren't opened. I couldn't see that. I wasn't at the place to see that. I wasn't the healed version to see that. Because when we heal, we understand better. We know better. We learn. You understand me? So looking back on things, you're like, I dealt with that. Dang, I was crazy to deal with that. I was crazy to not see that. And I let them play in my face and et cetera, et cetera. But that happens though, because you weren't at the level that you needed to be to deal with them or to cut them off because you didn't realize. You have to forgive yourself for what you did not know. You have to forgive yourself for what you did not realize. But when you know better, you do better. The onus is on you if you know better and you continue to do it, or you continue to let it happen, or you continue to let them play in your face. You understand what I'm saying? So when you know better, you do better. And that's what a healing journey is all about. Healing yourself, letting go of the things that no longer serve you. They're holding you back. When you hold on to things that no longer serve you, they are a big hindrance. And it costs you more to hold on to those ties, to those relationships, to those connections, rather than letting them go. Because there's something better for you down the road. There is an affirmation that I say every day. I am so happy and grateful now that all the wrong people are leaving my life and all the right people are coming into my life. And I say that every day. And guess what? All the wrong people began to leave my life. All the wrong people, including family. Because I began to see also how they also weren't serving me. They were negative, talked down to me, didn't respect me, didn't respect my boundaries, didn't uplift me, don't call and check on me. And when we do talk, you're just unloading on me with garbage, never asking me how I'm doing, what's going on with me, am I carrying anything? You just call to just offload because you don't care. And we will see things when we begin to heal. Because when you begin to heal, guess what happens? You get your self-love, your self-worth, your self-confidence. You become important. Your happiness, your peace, your joy becomes important. And when you make you the center, everything else around you will fall into place. Because you put yourself first. And it's not coming from a place of selfishness like you don't care about anybody or you could care less about anybody's feelings or emotions. It's really about being self-centered. I am centered on myself because when I am good, everything in my world is good. And when I am good, I am able to be good to people that I am allowing to come into my world or people that I'm just meeting on a daily basis. Like, because my light is shining. It is not dark and dank and negative and bitter because of the people that are not supposed to be in my life that are weighing me down. And when I was going through my healing journey, and it wasn't easy, doing self-work and healing yourself is not an easy feat because you find out a lot about yourself and you realize a lot about yourself and you realize a lot about people that you really cared about and you thought that they really cared about you, only to find out that the relationships are one-sided and you get your feelings hurt a lot. You cry a lot. But it's okay because you're stronger. You're a stronger person on the other side of it. And when you come up out of that thing, you're like, now I know what I want. And I recognize what I don't want. So you're not going to allow what you don't want to come into your life. You're going to focus on what you want. We don't focus on the negatives. We focus on the positives. Because if we focus on the negatives, that's what's going to grow. Whatever you give your energy to grows. So we're going to focus on the positive, what we do want. And we call those things into our life. Because let me tell you something. When you have good energy, great energy, that energy that when you walk into a room, the room shifts. That energy that before you even open the door, you are felt. That energy that when you walk in, literally everybody has to kind of stop what they're doing, even if it's just for a glance, then just look. Because your energy is attractive. You're a light that shines. You're golden. At least I know that's how I am. When I walk in a room, the energy shifts. People love to see me coming. They love my energy. And people will drain you at the same time. That's why a lot of people can't be in your energy. Everybody does not deserve to be in your energy. Gatekeep your energy. Everybody don't deserve your energy. They will drain you. People will just want you around because you're attractive like that. And I'm going beyond looks. I'm talking about that inner me. That inner me is so bright. When you heal, you free up so much energy. You free up so much energy. You'll feel it. You're so much lighter because you've healed. You're addressing wounds, old wounds that you thought were healed, but they're actually wide open. You just needed a trigger to see that you really hadn't dealt with it. You just kind of, threw it in the back seat. But when something was said to you or done to you, you were triggered, and the scab on that wound's actually scraped off, and now you're bleeding again. So when you actively go on your self-healing journey and you're healing yourself and you're doing the work to be a better you free up a lot of energy. You're healing. So you're vibrating on a totally different frequency. So you're amazing. You understand what I'm saying? Your light is amazing. Everybody got a straw and they want to take a sip, but they don't want to pour back into that cup. But they want to suck you dry. And that's what I learned a lot about my relationships. A lot of relationships I had with people, it was one-sided. It wasn't reciprocal. You wanted my energy. You wanted my time. You wanted my mind, my ideas, my encouragement, my motivation, that shoulder. But you couldn't be the same for me. So I became self-centered, not transactional, reciprocal, reciprocity. Because you cannot pour from an empty bucket. If I'm steadily giving and giving and passing out and passing out and passing out, and I'm depleted and nobody's pouring back into me, I don't even have time to pour back into me because I'm steadily pouring into you, and I'm pulled in this direction and I'm pulled into that direction. I don't have time to refill myself, so I'm running on a low battery, and nobody's there to pour back into me. You have to be mindful of that. Be mindful of people that take, but they don't want to give. And I'm not just talking about monetary. I'm referring to mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and also financially. Across the board, we want reciprocity. We deserve reciprocity. When you have good energy, you know you have good energy because everybody want to be around you. Everybody's attracted to you. Everybody wants your attention. It's something about you. And a lot of times people can't even put their fingers on it, but they just know it's something about you. They know they like what they see. They like what they feel when you are around. And they'll use you up. People will use you up. So surround yourself with people who celebrate you. They not only want to be celebrated by you, but they also want to celebrate you. They let you know that they miss you. They call you. They check up on you. Of course, lives. You know what I mean? Like, we all have our own things going on out here in the world, and nobody's asking you to be on the phone all day, every day. Nah. But it means a lot when somebody just says, hey, I was thinking about you. Or, you got time to link up this week? I haven't seen you in a minute. Just want to lay eyes on you. How you doing? I love you. I miss you. Thinking about you, etc., whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? It just takes a few minutes to just uplift somebody. Everybody is going through their own thing. We are all dealing with something in life. And it takes a minute to be uplifting. We don't have to be negative. We don't have to put other people down. Be uplifting. You never know how much a caring word means to someone. A simple, hey, I was thinking about you. Hey, just want to let you know I love you. But this time when you do it, be in a season of reciprocity. Let go of those giver-taker relationships. That's insanity. Giver. That's the ultimate. Giver relationships. All right, good people. That's all I wanted to drop in and say. Thank you so much for tuning in to Shantavia Speaks. I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. And until next time, peace.